Hello, sorry, I've just got to interrupt this video today with a quick explanation. 2 weeks ago, I uploaded part 1 to this video, and in 2 weeks it's had 31,000 views and 200 comments. The reason why I've got to do this quick explanation is it's just made me realise how popular these machines are today. But it's also highlighted the fact that some people do not understand what this bike is about, why it's been designed the way it has, why it's so big. You know, one bloke said all GSA riders are wankers. Another bloke said that's a posing machine. Why would you need a bike so big? You know, I've just had a few comments. So my next video, sorry for interrupting this one, is gonna be about why this bike is the way it is. What's it for? Anyway, so sorry for the interruption, and I hope you enjoy the video today.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall.
Hello to all my fellow bikers and YouTubers and subscribers out there. Today, I've bought my 2017 GSA triple black in the kitchen. Obviously the wife's away today, so she doesn't know about this. But the reason why I brought it in the kitchen is 2 weeks ago I made a video on this bike, and I couldn't fit all the details in. It went on to 19 minutes long. I'll put a card up now to that video. And there was loads of details that I needed to finish up on. So this video today is a part 2 vid. It's going to give you, you know, like the controls and various things in more detail. There's a few things I want to quickly say before we start. Today I'm going to be doing, well in a minute, I'm going to be doing a camera change. What I've decided is I want to improve my video and sound quality. So I've gone out and bought this Canon G7X Mark II. Apparently, this is the ultimate vlogging camera. Casey Neistat keeps one of these on his belt, and he describes this camera as almost perfect. So we're going to be swapping to that in a minute. My wife doesn't know about that either, so if she watches this video, I could be in the shit. Anyway, the next thing to discuss very quickly before we start. Hold on, let me just bring it up on my phone. My brother is signed up on a waiting list to receive this CCM Spitfire Scrambler, or Scrambler Spitfire. There's only 250 going to be made in the world, and honestly, it is possibly one of the most beautiful scramblers I've ever set eyes on. So me and my brother, we're so excited about doing some vids on that. His delivery date, we think, is November the 15th. So look out for them videos. I've also fitted a tracking device to this bike, and I've got one hell of a video to discuss that. Wherever this bike is in the world, I can open my laptop and look exactly where it is. And with all the bikes getting nicked across the world, you know, I've spent months thinking about what is the best way to deal with it. And for me, you know, the way I'm thinking, everybody should be trying to fit tracking devices to their bikes so that these people can be prosecuted. The police can't chase them. The police can't do anything about them. Let's just get some tracking devices fitted and see, you know. Anyway, so let's do another video on that tracking device soon. We're going to be doing some videos on this CCM, and let's get this camera swapped and get into discussing this beautiful bit of kit. Right, we're on the new camera now. Let me just warm this lighting up 1 second. That's it. Yeah, please bear with me with this camera. It's all on factory settings, and I just don't know what I'm doing with it yet. All I know is how to press record. Right, so let's make a start. On last week's video, I said that I didn't think the keyless ride was an absolute necessity. One bloke sent me a message this week. I mean, I've had dozens and dozens of messages from people all with really good points about this and that. This chap sent me this message to say that when you go into a fuel station, to not have to faff around with keys is a major advantage. And I have to agree with him now. For £260, to be able to just ride in, the key releases the, when the key's in your pocket, it releases the fuel cap. To be able to just ride in, get your fuel and ride off without faffing around with anything else when you're on tour is a major advantage. My concern last week was that you would lose one of the keys, and it's exactly what I've done this week. I've gone and lost. What happens with a bike is it comes with a proper BMW key, and it also comes with a little yellow tag key. And what happens with a tag key is, if you lose this key, you take the little tag key to the back of the bike, you then touch it on that little round disc area there, and it overrides all the systems, enabling you to be able to start the bike and ride home. Obviously I'm going to have to order a new one from BMW, but yeah, now looking back at my previous video, I say 260 quid, you know, you can look after your keys and use it appropriately. So whilst we're still on the subject of the ignition, a question that's come up a couple of times this week is, how do you lock the handlebars, the steering lock, when you don't have a key? Well, all you do is you turn the handlebars to the side, you hold the button down for a couple of seconds, you'll hear it, and that's basically it. That's the handlebars locked. And to release it, you just press it once, and that's it. I mean, that is so simple. Right, I'm just going to move down to the bottom of the motorcycle at the moment. I'll come back to the controls in a minute. As you can see, the bike is stood on its centre stand, and that serves a purpose. I mean, I call it a paddock stand. If you were to get a puncture, or you've got rear end problems with a bike whilst touring, what that stand does is it elevates the bike up. And also, if you get a front wheel puncture, you can also do the same thing. There are a couple of techniques to sorting out punctures and front and rear work. So what I'll do is I'll put the camera down quickly and I'll show you a little technique that some of the guys use. Right, so what you can see that I've done now is I've put a strap from the front wheel and round the centre stand. You can use a rope or anything that you could find on the roadside. I mean, I would take a little strap with me when I go touring anyway. But it locks the centre stand in place to enable you to work on the back of the bike. What you wouldn't want to do is have this bike fall on you, 264 kilograms, when you're on tour. So what a few of the guys do is they tie that centre stand up to give you a safe working environment. Right, what I do now is I'll show you how they work on the front wheel. Right, so what I've done now is I've put the strap round the centre stand and tied it to the sump protector, the belly pan. Then I've gone out and grabbed a log just to elevate the front of the bike up. The stand is locked in place. The bike is nice and safe. You can use anything there. You can use a pile of bricks, rocks, whatever, just to elevate the front of the bike, and that allows you to change the tyre, work on the puncture, work on the brakes in safety. So yeah, just quickly, someone messaged me this week saying it's a real pain cleaning the wheels when these spokes come to the outside rim. They come to the outside rim so that you get a tubeless tyre. I know it's harder to clean the wheel, but if you're stuck out in an open road somewhere in the middle of nowhere, to be able to repair the tyre really quickly and get underway is a major advantage. So for the sake of not being able to clean the wheels properly, I would say that was a fair sacrifice. Right, so what we've got at the front is a dual set of Brembos with a steel braided hose, a single Brembo on the back. I mean, there's nothing else to say about those, but all the good bikes nowadays are fitted with Brembos, and you know, there's nothing to question on them. They're superb. So let's take a quick look at all the controls, the instrument cluster and the riding modes. BMW have designed this so that everything can be worked from the fingertips. Your sat nav, this is your little scrolling disc, you know, forward select, rear select, scroll in, scroll out, scroll up and down. You know, it's basically everything on the Navi works from this little device here. On the same side, you've got your trips, you've got your info button. This is your little riding mode, whether you've got a pillion passenger or, you know, you're carrying luggage and a pillion passenger. It sets the ESA system. You've got your cruise control here. I mean, most people leave it switched on like that. And then this is your speed selector. So very simple to use. You've got your main beam there, where is it? Flasher, and then flick it out and that's the main beam locked on. So that works on your forefinger, very simple. Over this side you've got the kill switch, the riding mode selector, whether it's rain or enduro or whatever, you select it with that. And then you've got your heated grip selector. Let's switch the cluster on and we can take a closer look. Right, if you look just there, when I press the heated grip thing, it's got two positions. One's really hot and then one's halfway. So switch that off. The riding modes, let's press that. There you have dynamic, enduro, rain, road, and dynamic again. What a lot of people don't realise is, I mean, most people think that you have to pull over to the roadside to be able to select one of the riding modes, and then it takes about 3 or 4 seconds to drop in. Well, what you can actually do is you can pull the clutch in while riding, drop the throttle so it's off, select your mode, and it will literally drop in while you're in motion. So, you know, if you're riding along, let's just say, and it started to chuck it down with rain, you could quickly get yourself into the rain mode. Do you feel a difference between those modes? It's absolutely incredible. That is basically your throttle responses, you know. Excellent piece of kit, that. Let's have a look. This little suspension button over here, that works the ESA system. So as you can see, it's set on, you see 2 little crash helmets there. It's set on two riders, hard, soft and normal. If I hold the button down, there's one, that's a single rider. You see the single crash helmet there. Normal, hard and soft. And it should come up with 2 riders. Oh, there's a rider and the luggage. You can basically choose whatever you want for riding comfortability. Now, as this is the lowered suspension model, I got a couple of questions this week saying, you know, with it being lowered, does the suspension bottom out? Well, with this dynamic ESA system, you will never bottom out with a suspension. It's so advanced, it's incredible. You're always comfortable. Even with 2 riders set on one rider weight, you never bottom out on the suspension. Right, so what else was it I had to show you? Over in this bottom corner here, you've got an auxiliary plug to plug devices in, and you know, it's better to get a port that gives you a USB port on there, and then you can work your phone from it. Here you've got your screen adjustment. Just one little criticism, I think that screen adjustment should have been on the left hand side and not on your throttle side. Knowing me, I'd have missed, oh yeah, there's the horn. Oh, that can be a fright. The indicators. Actually, I'll show you them. Let's stick the hazard lights on. Yeah, they look tiny indicators, but they're actually really bright. Just to help with that road presence. A lot of people, they get the little fog lights, the day riding lights, and they'll adjust them down so you're not blinding people at night time. If you have them on a standard level setting, you do find that people will flash you. But most riders of these GSAs now will ride with them all the lights on, because of the road presence and the safety thing. It works well. So I hope I've covered nearly everything. Please message me, you know, send me a message and I'll answer any other questions that you might have. Please subscribe if you want to see how I get on with this bike, and I'll see you with the CCM videos. Hopefully I'll get this camera sussed and get some better settings going on it. And yeah, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next video.